Say good morning. Say outfit number 2, bright and early. The best part of puking is we get through all of the fun clothes. We get to change outfits all the time. I figured today I would bring you along and catch you guys up. I know for me, I like to feel like I am in the know. Like some of our closest friends, like we are super close because we share a lot and we know a lot about each other. Well, I know a lot of you guys have come and you guys are trying to figure out kind of what our journey has been, and maybe you found us because we are about to be facing a lot with our youngest daughter about to be heading into heart surgery. But then you noticed, whoa, they've been through a lot to kind of grow their family, and we really have. So today I am going to bring you along on my day and catch you guys up so we are all on the same page. We all kind of know the backstory, and so when I refer to things, you're like, oh, I totally know that because Alex told me. You tell me about it? No. You're okay. That feel better? Is that good? You got it. Is it your chewy toy? Take out my chewy toy, huh? Yeah. Okay, so where do we even start? Yes, we start at the very beginning. Okay, so Philip and I got married right out of college. I took an extra year because I was in nursing school and didn't apply to the nursing program until my sophomore year, so I graduated in 5. So we both started college at the same time, but we didn't get married until I graduated. We were 23 when we got married. So let's just jump into it. A year into marriage, we had started trying, and I just thought, wham bam, it was just gonna be simple and we were gonna have a baby the next year. And month after month, I was just kind of shocked that it wasn't happening, but I knew it could take some time, so I was trying not to be sad. But I remember after 3 months, crying, sobbing on my 25th birthday that we weren't pregnant. If I could go back and say, Alex, you gotta pull it together because it's gonna be a long haul from here. But it is, it's really sad. It doesn't matter what moment you are through your infertility journey, it is hard. I would say those first few years were probably one of the hardest because you're kind of coming to terms with reality and partly in denial, and it is rough. It is really rough. That's so good. Look, good job, baby. Yeah, are you proud of yourself? Good, you should be. You gonna do another one? Okay. So I always wanted a big family, but then when we started dating, we both talked about having a big family. So we were ready to start trying. And month after month, anyone who's been through infertility, or you know a friend or family member who's been through infertility, it's a lot. And month after month, getting the no and just not understanding and getting confused and really sad. Like those first few years were really, really hard. And there were some really dark times. I remember friends coming over, bringing me some encouragement, picking me up, taking me to their house to just talk. So we are newly married, a year into marriage, and we go to the doctor and we got hit with the official diagnosis of infertility. We were originally diagnosed with male factor infertility.
3.47 million, which is low. We like it to be 20 million or higher.
So I was in utter denial. I just was not going to accept the diagnosis of infertility. I was extremely devastated, and I was adamant that we were gonna try everything, do everything healthy, everything natural, under the sun, anything that I could think of. I think my rock bottom was when I took every single piece of our clothing and re-washed all of it with a more natural laundry detergent. Not saying that's a bad thing. It's a great thing, but literally every single piece of clothing. Well, that wasn't a nap. That was just a few minutes, huh? Yeah. Say good morning. So if you can think of any natural option Any natural remedy, we did it. Acupuncture, diet, supplements, temperature therapy, Clomid for men, you name it, we tried it. And it took me a few years to get to the point of being okay with, okay, maybe we need some help. My all-time favorite one. I don't know if Philip will let me show this in the vlog or not, but this one I think actually worked like the best out of all of them. Let's see. I mean, guys, when you go through infertility, you will do anything. Your spouse is really awesome if he gets on board for this level. So this was straight from our acupuncturist. Boxers are the one that you will Google and you'll read online and allow men to have a little bit more breathing room, if you will, and not let them be hot against their leg and their skin. Well, our acupuncturist said, one step further. Boxer briefs, which is what Philip already wore, and then you cut a hole, okay, too low, down here, perfect height, right here. You cut a slit. The boys are hanging out of the briefs, no longer skin to skin, because skin to skin is where families begin, unless you have infertility, and then they gotta hang on the outside. So literally, Philip, is it okay I share this clip? Boxer briefs. Doing that for 90 days and getting retested, I feel like that, plus the herbs that he was taking to lower his body temperature, I feel like that's when we saw like the best improvement. But you have to remember, we were starting at severe male factor. We were not on the border, we weren't borderline. So we jumped into IUI. So we were just gonna take the sperm and you intrauterine insemination and drop it off in the uterus. So we were just that much closer to the egg. So it was foolproof, it was gonna work, right? But you have to remember, we had severe male factor. So when we did our 3 IUIs, we were transferring a couple of million of sperm, and it sounds like a lot. So many times, it only takes 1, but it's more than that. For an IUI, ideally, you would have, yeah, like the rooster said, you would ideally have 20 million sperm.
1 million.
You're kidding.
1 million total modal sperm.
So there was a chance IUI would work, but for us it didn't. It was just the lowest point. I was devastated. We were 3 IUIs in, and I just like put my hands up and I said, God, I don't care how our family happens. I am just ready to be a mom. I'm ready to be a mom now. So you have to understand, at this point, I was so low. Anyone who's gone through infertility just understands the deep, utter, rooted pain. And I love when people are compassionate and empathetic and want to give big hugs to people around them, their friends, their family that have gone through infertility. But if you've gone through it yourself, you know it extra well of how to love on others, because you just know that deep, deep rooted pain. Philip had been ready to adopt since he was a kid, so we started the adoption process. Come here, honey. Stop picking from our garden and come talk. Okay, come here. Okay, so how deeply broken was I through infertility?
A scale of 1 to 10?
Sure.
Like a 57?
Yeah, it was really, really rough and really hard. And so people ask us, guys, why did you even start YouTube?
So we're day 1, just editing our videos. What do you think so far?
It's so fun.
Honestly, I watched a video, Ellie and Jared, that they shared their infertility journey, and I felt like I didn't know anybody. I didn't know anyone that struggled with infertility, and I felt so alone. And so I felt like if they made me feel not as alone, we should be able to do that for somebody else. So even if we were able to make one person feel like they weren't alone, we wanted to start this YouTube channel. And in the beginning it was awesome. We had comments here, we talked back and forth, we encouraged each other. Someone was about to go into their IUI, someone was starting the adoption process, someone was trying to support their friend, their family through infertility, and then just a bunch of people that wanted to learn about our story. And it was awesome because they were able to now be a resource to other people that were around them, because 1 in 4 pregnancies face miscarriage. 1 in 8 couples go through infertility. So I loved our community here. I loved that we were going to be this like powerhouse that we're going to just encourage people. And then YouTube has changed and we no longer have comments, and it's just been a lot different. And so we were able to kind of build and find that community. But I know a lot of people would have even dreamed of having the community we have. and I cannot wait to share with you guys. Rooster, shh. I literally cannot wait to share with you guys our sponsor for today's video. I'm not even kidding. We dreamed of an app like this years ago. We talked about someone has to make this. It is the place that you need if you are going through infertility, miscarriage, adoption, surrogacy, saving and preserving your fertility if you're saving eggs for future or sperm for future. This app literally has everything. Everything from blogs that people write about their story, to discussion boards, to being able to message people privately that you want to ask them questions, to a journal for yourself. For, oh my gosh, they have a photo journal where you can, I have a million pictures in my phone, but are they all cohesive? No, they're mixed with everything else. I could have like a concise journal showing kind of the process, a reminder tool, other tools that, let's say you get pregnant and then you get to have a HCG doubling tool, to a due date calculator. I mean, guys, this app is just limitless of the things that you want, and then you can just put in what are the things that you want to talk about. Foster care, maybe adoption, maybe it is surrogacy, maybe it is infertility, IVF.
Can I say like one thing? Am I allowed to talk? Do you want me to talk?
You can talk. Sorry, I'm just so excited. You can talk. Go ahead.
I feel like 1 in 4 really allows people the opportunity to be vulnerable in a setting that's safe.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's, social media has the pros and the cons of it.
It has some
and
limits.
There's but there's nothing that connects you to people than similar pains. I feel like 1 in 4 is like that app that we would have dreamed of having 9 years ago. People are there because they care. People are there because they're on a similar journey. That similarity, that commonality really is what drives the community. And I think 1 in 4 has nailed it here. And I just feel like it's probably the thing that has been missing out of all social media. This is social media done right. 1 in 8 struggle with infertility. We can attest that sharing your story will help you heal. No matter what the outcome.
And I want to encourage you, if you're at the beginning and you're not ready to share, you don't have to. You don't have to do what I did and go to scary Dr. Google. That's not where you have to go. You can go to this app and you can have articles that are from scientists and from the doctors. They are the information that they wish you would have had before you took Dr. Google into your own hands.
And I feel like 1 in 4 is like that team that every couple needs to root them on. We get messages, here's this precious child that was born, thank you for helping me, Alex, to never give up. Like, I hear that statement in emails every single week, if not every other day. Alex, you helped me not give up in my journey. Phil, thank you for encouraging me.
So you guys, if you want to go ahead and check out 1 in 4, we will just put a link in the description box below.
Connect with others and don't go through this alone. Don't go through this alone. I've seen so many people say no to adoption or foster care or you name it because of fear. Guys, I just want to like squash your fear. 1 in 4 will have a friend for you. And if Phil and Alex can get through this and build community, so can I. And honestly, this is the way to do it.
So I told you guys I was gonna bring you along my day. If you know what these are, you know what's going on. Back on the story, we were so beside ourselves. We were ready to adopt, and we knew it was gonna take a couple of years. You were exactly the person I wanted to see. So we were 6 days into our home study paperwork when someone showed up at church. Do you know whose tummy you were in? And do you know that she came to church and said, I still haven't picked a mommy and daddy for this baby. So we met with her the next day, and we were open to just being a support if that's what she needed. But we also did let her know that we were 6 days into the adoption process and looking to adopt. And she chose us. I wish we were vlogging at the time. I picked up the towel in front of me, covered my face while we're on the phone, trying not to make any noise, and I'm shaking back and forth. hysterically sobbing. 9 days later, we were in the delivery room and we became parents. So we had a little baby at home and we were shouting from the rooftops how much we loved adoption, how adoption was amazing. It starts with pain, it starts with brokenness, but there is redemption in it. And we would shout open adoption from the rooftops to the point that I had someone reach out to me to ask me some questions about adoption and how do you find a family that wants to have an open adoption, which means that you just have contact. There's a whole range of open adoption. You were in her tummy. So we had a 13-month-old at the time, and we said, we will adopt again, and we are excited and ready. 3 days shy of 16 months apart, we had 2 little girls. We're meeting our daughter tomorrow.
We're gonna have a sister today.
Here's my pumping party.
Hi.
Okay, so we need to step back just a little bit. Right before we adopted Callie, we had actually started the IVF process. We knew we wanted to grow our family again, and so we found a few things out when we educated ourselves that we could make certain decisions with IVF. It was something we struggled with ethically before we realized we could make these different decisions. But you see that we had done an IVF egg retrieval before Callie was born. We had already started, we already had our meds, we were ready to go. So we did our egg retrieval, but decided we would put our transfers on hold. So we had 6 frozen embryos ready for us.
You've got a total of 6.
No way!
Yay!
But we said, we're gonna pause on our IVF journey and we are going to move forward with adoption. We had 2 little ones keeping us nice and busy. Our hands were full, our hearts were fuller. It was amazing and we were obsessed and we loved our family. But we always knew we wanted to have a big family. So right when Callie was about a year, we said we are committed to the embryos that we created. That was part of the ethics that we were comfortable with, that we were going to be committed to the ones that we made. And so we had 6 embryos. And so we were ready to start. Now I could make this video hours long going into every detail of everything, but long story short, we ended up doing 4 frozen embryo transfers. The first one didn't take.
No, it's negative.
Our second one showed an HCG level of 4.
Technically, and I know you'll understand because you're a nurse and, in the medical field. So technically it's positive because anything over 2 is positive, okay?
Okay.
The level was at a 4.
Which with that lab was technically pregnant, but then dropped down to 2.
The HCG went down from 4 to 2. What we probably should do is do a little bit of a workup on you.
My doctor even wonders if that might have been what happened the first time. So because of that, she actually changed her office policy to check your HCG. It was either a day or 2 sooner. So she planned on checking me even sooner, our 3rd transfer. And we did, and indeed we were super excited to find out that we were expecting. Little did we know that our 3rd transfer was going to end up in a miscarriage. We knew from the beginning our HCGs weren't doubling, we weren't growing appropriately. We knew, we were counseled to say the likelihood of this pregnancy becoming viable is very low. We just weren't ethically comfortable going off of the meds until we had stopped growing, because that's what happens in miscarriage, you stop growing. We didn't grow, we far bypassed the spot where we should have had a heartbeat. And when we stopped growing, we decided it was time and we went off the meds. We did genetically test and found out that that baby was a monosomy 21. There was actually 2 sacs, so it could have split abnormally. It could have just been abnormal from the beginning, but monosomy 21 is not compatible with life.
Yeah.
Okay, so then our 4th transfer, we had a 4th transfer and we were kind of exhausted. This had been over a year of trying to do transfers, and we came back rested after taking a short break, and in the fall we did a transfer with 2 embryos. This time we knew it was gonna happen. It was just, was it 1 or 2? Indeed, we got that positive pregnancy test. We told all of our friends and family, we just didn't know if it was 1 or 2. And then our betas ended up dropping and we lost those babies. So here we are, 1 embryo left, and not understanding what happened. The only explanation at that point was that we were an anomaly where for our age bracket, we should have had at least 70% of our embryos be genetically normal. We ended up on blood thinners after our second IVF transfer, finding out I had a blood clotting disorder.
The mother-baby connection is supposed to be literally a cell layer between the two. So during implantation, if there's clotting, because when you cut and stuff, you bleed. If there's clotting, that layer between mom and baby is thicker.
So maybe the first 2 just had a hard time sticking, and then once we were on the blood thinners, we got pregnant, but we were not staying. We decided we had 1 embryo left, but we wanted to genetically test. Genetic testing was something we did not want to do from the beginning because we did not want to be put into a situation where we had to make ethical decisions. We just wanted to do transfers and just kind of see what happens and be surprised. So we did a second egg retrieval, and we found out through genetic testing that we only technically ended up with a grading of an AA, genetically typical baby. And that baby is sitting right there. Yes, but it was ups and downs for years trying to grow our family again. But do you know what? Our embryo from our first retrieval is our other genetically normal embryo, even though they are the smallest. So that's my thing. Going through IVF, there is no answer. Just because you have an AA genetically normal embryo, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to take. And you could have a small CC graded embryo, and it could take and become a full, typical, healthy baby. And so that's why I am all about being in community through this. It is so hard to go on this journey by yourself, and we craved community, and we were able to find a community, but I want that for anybody else going through this journey. So again, I really encourage you guys, go check out 1 in 4. I promise you, you will be so happy that you did. Or if you know anybody, in a sweet, gentle way to encourage them. Oh, I heard about this app. It's really neat. You might find some community and comfort, or maybe some articles to learn some things, and let them know that they can go check it out as well. So just a little recap. We went through infertility for years. We got diagnosed with male factor infertility, endometriosis, factor V Leiden, MTHFR. We have grown our family through adoption and through IVF, and we are hoping that just watching our story, you can see it doesn't matter how your family has grown. If your love is there, that is all that matters. Love is what makes a family. I am obsessed with my kids. I love my family. I am so beyond blessed and so beyond thankful, and I'm thankful that you guys have enjoyed coming on the journey of growing our family with us, and we are thankful for each and every one of you. So thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you guys in our next video. Go let your love multiply. Bye guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Don't you know that you're beautiful?